fallen into that trap of the rat race, but not like you would think. I'll give you a prime example of one of those 5 ways. I explained in the course how every movie, every book that's ever been read to you from childhood on up, every film, every radio show, every NBA game, NFL game, all of it. They have fed you their stories through one specific paradigm. The good guy and the bad guy. You don't look at the opposing team as heartfelt players that are feeding their families and, manage to go to college and get scholarships. Nope. You look at them as the bad guy. You regard them as the bad guy. Sometimes some of y'all are going in the audience. Y'all go there and watch the game and throw shit at them and spit at them and yell at them. Racial epithets and shit like that. Because you see him as the bad guy. And then you see your team as the good guy. Because you've been conditioned. You've been conditioned to view the world that way. It's called binary thinking. You reduce everything and everyone to either a good guy or a bad guy. And because of the fact that you have that binary thinking, you fail to engage in the aspects of life that actually determine success. Good guy, bad guy makes it easy. You don't have to look into an individual's process to what led them to where they are today. You just get to say, oh, he's a criminal. Or you just get to say, oh, fuck him, he plays for that team. You don't get to look into the fact that his mother has lupus or MS and is bedridden and has been since he was 7. Deteriorating on a bed. He's been pushing around in the grocery store in a wheelchair for most of his life. You don't have to look into that. You don't want to deal with that. So you can't develop what's called empathy. And let me tell you something about the future. Another great book. It's called A Whole New Mind. It's an old book, but it taught me something. My man said TJ stand for truth job. Appreciate that, Wody. But the truth is, and this is going to be hard to stomach, but pretty much anything you contribute, that 90th percentile of the workforce, y'all niggas, anything you contribute can be outsourced. It's replicable. Prime example. Whatever job you do, they can outsource it to India. Whatever job you do, a computer can now simulate your actions and your contributions. Whatever job you do, maybe you're a cashier at a grocery store. Guess what? They got self-checkout now. You will soon be replaced by self-checkout. Whatever job you do, in that 90th percentile of the workforce, is replicable. Robots is doing your job right now at Amazon. Facts. Your only true job security is empathy. Empathy. Which you lose out on because you've been conditioned to regard the world through binary thinking of good guys and bad guys. But it's the empathizers who run the world. That's why 39% of the largest motherfucking tech companies in the United States of America were created by and owned by immigrants. That's why. That's why immigrants have a 67% higher chance of succeeding in your country than you do. Because they don't have that binary thinking. They actually have the ability to empathize. So how is empathy important? You can't outsource empathy. Some nigga in India ain't looking at what's going on in your hood and coming up with a solution for it. He might come up with a solution for what's going on in his hood, and it may or may not be applicable to yours. But only you can look at people, empathize with them, and through that empathy, find opportunities. That's what empathy gives you. It gives you 100 more opportunities per day than a nigga who's a binary thinker. Bars. Y'all don't want this fire. Y'all don't want this fire.